Okay, here we are. It's time for the NHL Stanley Cup Final. Joe Tilley here, along with.
Ross Granado.
All right, now we've done pretty well so far, Ross. 12-2 for the playoffs. I've got us for, which is a pretty impressive record. So we've been nailing it, including the conference finals, which we both nailed easily. You 5 games that kind of flew by, didn't it? So here we go into the final. It's what we expected. We both of us picked the orders all the way through. In fact, both of us picked the orders to win it all, and I don't see any reason to change that. Do you?
I do not know. I'm still going Edmonton all the way. I still want that Canadian team to win. I want to see McDavid lift the cup, and I think that this is going to be a very good rematch between Edmonton and Florida.
Yeah, and the rematch is right. I mean, last year was it was awful when they went behind 3 games to none. But
Mhm.
McDavid and company woke up, forced a seventh game, and almost won that too. But yeah, and this year I think they're a different team. Like the loss of Zach Hyman will hurt a little bit, but having Mattias Ekholm back, he was back for that final game of the Star Series, and +2 in that game is a significant factor. And I just don't see anything that would tell me that the Oilers have slowed down. If anything, they've just picked it up.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like you said, obviously the loss of Hyman is huge, but I still think I really like the look of Edmonton's decor this year. I think it's a lot better than it was last year. I feel like they're a lot deeper. And they've got a lot of factors on their decor that I think I would rather have over Florida's decor. Like I think like Bouchard is obviously one of the best puck moving defensemen in the league. We've talked about Ekholm a lot and his defensive capabilities and his shutdown abilities. And even if you go beyond that, like Nurse is solid and Jake Wallman was a great pickup. And I think the main thing too is their goaltending. I think if Skinner can, stay consistent, have a good series, I think it'll be a lot better than, what like you said last year when they went down 3-0 and then they had to claw their way back. And I think if he could just stay consistent, then it might be a bit easier for them this time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Skinner was, we both talked about this earlier. Skinner's got to be the guy. He's got to find his game in order for the Oilers to be successful. He's certainly done that. He's playing with a lot of confidence right now. And you brought up Wallman. What a quiet little pickup he was from San Jose. But I looked at the stats there. He's +12 in the playoffs. He leads all the Oilers in the plus minus. He's also got his 6 points, but he with the Sharks, who are a terrible hockey team, he was a -1 in 50 games with San Jose this year. So he's been a guy who doesn't get himself in a lot of trouble on the ice. He's very solid, and he's one of those quiet little defensive acquisitions that have made the Oilers the strong team they are now. Florida's got a lot of guys here with a positive plus minus. They got Lundell is a +12, Marchment and Luostarinen are both +11. So they got guys who can make things happen. Sam Bennett's got 10 goals in the playoffs, and he leads everybody in that category. They got some strong forwards that put a lot of pressure on the defense, which they did last year. But as we talked about, this is a different Edmonton decor this year. They knew what they had to fix, and they've pretty much done that, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah, they definitely have. And I honestly think that, like you said, like the decor is probably, especially in the finals, I feel like, you've played a lot of games and your team can easily get beaten up. We've seen that Hyman isn't gonna be playing, and I think that, if your decor can stay intact and just stay consistent, I feel like that's the main thing, is like consistency and, like everyone says, defense wins championships, and I truly I do believe that.
They do. And defense wins, and defense won it for Florida last year, and I
Yeah.
think defense is going to win it for Edmonton this year. But
Mhm.
Connor McDavid, he's got that look in his eye. This
Mhm.
guy is a special talent. He's a generational talent. He's the best player in the game today. I think he's the best player since Wayne Gretzky. And when we look back down the road, we might just say that Connor McDavid is the greatest hockey player of all time when the smoke clears, when all is said and done in his career. So he is something special, and he really is on a mission.
Yeah, no, he is. I've been saying it even since the playoffs started. I never saw a world where Connor McDavid just didn't go out there and say, "I'm winning a cup this year." And like you said, you could see it in his eyes. He's got that determination. I feel like he definitely was very hard on himself last year after losing that game 7. And I think this year it's going to be a lot different.
Yeah, there's a picture on the internet I just saw trending of him having a look, giving Leon Draisaitl the look
Yeah.
after that game one loss against Dallas, which they lost
Yeah.
6-3, and he's looking over at Draisaitl, and you can tell he's not a happy guy. He's not
Yeah.
going to accept anything but a victory here, and yeah. So and I see it. So anyway, I'm picking the Oilers in 6. What are you saying?
I like that pick. You know what? I'm gonna go. I want to say Oilers in 5, but I don't think Florida's gonna go down that easy. So I'm gonna go Oilers in 6 as well.
Yeah, my sentiments exactly. Florida's going to have they are the defending champs. This will be the third trip to the Stanley Cup final,
Mhm.
so they're not going to go down without a real good scrap.
Yeah.
Uh, but McDavid and the Oilers are going to make it happen in 6. So there you have it. And all right, good luck, Oilers.
Go Oilers, go.